significant person or someone who's significant to you. And then on Monday is the final. We have to be back in here. It'll be very short. All you're going to have to do is just tell us what you learned this semester, and that'll be it. And you can take a couple minutes to do that. We should be able to get everybody through that. And that's all we have to do. But we have to meet for a final. It's a rule, and we just have to conform to that because we have to follow the rules. Noon, same thing.
Noon?
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday we won't be here.
Wednesday won't be here. That's it. So once we get through Monday,
You have to stay the full 2 hours?
no, just a 47, 48 minutes. And once we get through everybody, we may not stay that long. We can just turn you loose.
What?
Yeah, then I can just sit here and talk about whatever I want to for 20 minutes.
What?
Unchecked.
Oh, unchecked.
Unchecked. Yeah. So.
And you got a couple checkers in the room.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm happy to go that way. All right, well, we want to get these speeches underway. And I know almost everybody in here has to do a speech today. I think, Matt, you went on. Didn't you go?
I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go. Okay, you talked about it. Ryan, you ready to go today? Good. Texas, Carolyn, everybody on this side? Good. Kennedy, Haley. What's that? Let's get them going. Athena, I can tell you're ready to go. Why don't you come on up here and get this one taken care of. That way you can rest the rest of the class. Being a trooper today. Okay, I think that should be about good for you there. Okay. And this TV's out because of the storm yesterday, so you won't be able to see yourself, but you're on.
I usually think a hero wear the caps, but it turned out in my family, my heroes, he wear super thick glasses and carry a bunch of books. Today, I want to share the story about my cousin, but also truly my brother, Nguyễn Đức San. His name is really hard to pronounce, but his first name spelled S-A-N-H. He was the first in our family reach to the higher education, especially in technical major. The thing that back to 2008, 2010 in my country is really rare. He didn't just open the door for himself, but open the door for my whole family and provide that the dreams were possible if we work hard enough. He was not just a student. He is a leader of the city youth group. He organized the effort to clean the road with a few of trash, rock, and really dangerous needle. And he also helped to build the house for poor people and the war victims. He brings the real change to our community. He also genius. He saw the needs that others overlook, the needs for disabled people to communicate. He learned the sign language himself, thing that is almost no one else knew in my country back to the day. He did not stop there. He touched to other members in the youth group, also touched to the disabled community, give them the voice to talk when they have none. He also earned a Fulbright scholarship to go study abroad that we worked really hard for. But just one day before he was supposed to leave, we lost him. For me, it was even more than this achievement. I didn't stay with my parents when I was a kid. I stayed with my grandparents, and then I stayed in the church, and then I stayed with his family. And he is the one person who made me feel loved. He is the only one who remembers my birthday when nobody else does. He remembered it, and he would bring some toy, candy, or little surprise for me every time he come back home from a study far away. He taught me the thing that shaped me today. I was a one who hot-tempered, but introvert when I was a kid. He patient with me. He taught me how to calm down, how to treat people around me with respect, how to love my parents, my family, and even love myself. He showed me how to open up, how to be more confident, and to believe in a bigger future than my circumstance. When he passed away, something inside me changed. I know that his dream is not his only anymore. It's mine now. So I start to research, to learn another language, to repair all the paperwork, to fly for the chance to honor what he had started. He lived life with compassion, courage, and leadership. He's not here anymore, but his spirit continues to guide me every single step I take. I'm really proud to call him my brother and proud to carry his dream with me forward. And he passed really accidentally, just suddenly, and I also don't have any his picture or anything. I just keep this until now with me. This is a toy that he bought me 15 years ago. He bought this for me to lock my cigarette box. He have another sister. He older than me a little bit, but we jealous each other. So all of my candy, my diary, my toys, I put it in that little box, and he bought this for me to lock that for myself. And I bring this with me. I don't have that box anymore, but I bring it with me 15 years. It's lost the eyes, but yeah, it's still soft. Any question?
Tell us how you're going to encourage us, which you already have, by this experience. So make that broader.
So he gave me to know how to open up and more confident. So I was so quiet and introvert back to the day. And I saw lots of kids also like me who don't live with a parent, who also like scared to get out to talk. So I think if you have somebody to encourage you, you can just open up, go outside, start to talking with other people, and you will meet more people who can help you with, not just a family member.
Good. That's exactly what I was looking for. Really good, Athena, all the way around. Well organized. I've put image question mark, and then it just shows you the power of a visual, because you brought that, the little key with the furry person on it, right?
Little fox, yeah.
A little fox?
Yeah.
So, but that's really nice. So you didn't have an image of the person, but you did have something that we could visualize him, and the story was really nice. So you used really good details. I thought you gave a good overview of your person, and the adversity obviously was losing him. That's kind of your adversity almost, because once he was gone, he's okay now. It's all you that you're concerned with. And what you learned from him was really good. And I like your encouragement there at the end that we can make a difference in anybody's life. Doesn't have to be a family member. And so that's good encouragement. All right, well, good job. Let's give her a hand. Yay. Okay, let's just go down the list. Let's hear from Veda. It's going to be on that side. You'll see it.
Okay.
Just, yeah. You can kind of gauge it from that. Maybe zoom out a little bit.
Oh, perfect.
All right, Crystal.
All right. Have you ever been inspired by one of your parents? Well, my mom is one of the most inspiring people in my life. My mom's name is Crystal Walters. She is very important to me because she raised me, inspired me, and always supports me. My mom was raised in Pryor, Oklahoma. When my mom was in her late 20s, she decided she wanted to go to college and went to college here at RSU. At first, she wanted to be a nurse, but the classes were really hard, so she changed her mind. She entered a piece of art into the student art show here at RSU and won a prize. That made her to decide to study art instead. She chose to major in graphic design and also loved photography. I was about 6 years old at the time, and I remember going with her to campus while she worked on her art, and I thought it was so cool that she was going to college and making art. One challenge that my mom faced was going to college while raising 3 kids. College is already hard as it is, and taking care of a family could make it difficult. But she did it, and she graduated in 2013. Some accomplishments that she has had is she's gotten her bachelor's degree, she's worked as a graphic designer for 10 years, she was the president of the Graphics Club in Tulsa, she also helps with the Prior Art Council, does photography, and now works as the director of the Cherokee National Holiday and runs the Cherokee Art Center in Tahlequah. Her legacy is full of art, leadership, and helping her community. She has shown me and others that you can follow your dreams and still take care of your family. She gives back to others and inspires people with her work. Again, my mom is important to me because she raised me, inspires me, and supports me. Something to learn from her story is to always follow your passions. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, good. Very good. I'm just going to say well organized, good details. I liked your opening question. When you ask an opening question, give a little space.
Okay.
Because let us respond. Because I know you had the one experience where you asked a question and nobody said anything, and so now you're just kind of jumping past the answer space.
Yeah.
So go ahead and let us give a little pause there. Good story and background, and it's always good to hear about your mom, Crystal, because I remember when she was here as a student and have watched her grow and progress and do all the great things that she's doing now at Cherokee Nation, so it was good to hear more about her. And the legacy I thought was really solid. And really, that's your encouragement as well. You know, you kind of merge that into that she showed you and others that you can follow your dreams and still raise a family. And so I think that was really your encouragement to us. So I thought that was good. What I'll also say is that over the course of the semester, you're not yelling at us, but you don't have to. You don't have that kind of voice, but you are much louder than when you started the semester. And so kind of opening up a little bit, being more expressive, and I think that's just going to continue. You're naturally a quiet person,
Yes.
but when you're doing your public speaking, and if you do go into teaching, you're going to have to use that indoor loud voice when you're trying to talk over a bunch of 7-year-olds or something like that,
Right.
or college freshmen. We'll go ahead and say that. So, good job all the way around. Let's give her a hand. Good job, Beta. Solid. Haley, you're next on Hit Parade here. Then it'll be Kennedy, Texas, and Carolyn, I'm hoping we're going to get to you. We should. If something happens and we don't, we'll save you till Monday, which is the final day.
I have a couple pictures on my phone.
Just put them on the camera there.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with this one.
They're moving pretty fast though. Zoom in on it so we can see them.
Put it right there.
Or yeah, there you go.
I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me try to turn down the brightness. Okay, there we go. All right. From whenever I was 2 years old up to 13 years old, my dad has gone on 7 deployments that would be up to 6 to 8 months. 1 year in 2013, he was gone for 10 months straight. I didn't know much other than my dad had to go on a boat and have to protect our country, but I was still young to grasp the reality of what was going on. My dad's name is Brandon Benedict, and he is my inspiration. He has done a lot for my family and for our country, and I have the honor to be able to talk about his life and accomplishments. After my dad graduated high school, he knew that he was destined to be in the Navy. He was sent in basic training in November of 1999, then went to school in Pensacola, Florida. During school, he was assigned to the USS Enterprise, CVN 65. Once he arrived on the Enterprise, he quickly became qualified at his job on aircrafts to launch the aircrafts off the aircraft carriers. His first deployment was scheduled for 6 months, and then 9/11 happened on their way home. And on their way home, he said, like, on the boat, they had to do a full 360 as some of the sailors were getting knocked over. And when they had to turn around, they had to go to the Persian Gulf, extending his deployment up to 10 and a half months. And he was the first person to launch aircraft that laid on the first strikes against Afghanistan. After he got home from his first deployment, he volunteered to go to the USS John F. Kennedy CV-67 to help in the war of Afghanistan, and was gone for 6 more months. He was gone for almost all of 2002 during that time, and then he returned home for 2 months and then met my mom and got married a year after of knowing each other, which I got 2 different stories of how they met, but I think they met at the club. But my dad said he met at Church's Chicken. So I'm like, which is it? But yeah, so they met for a year and got married, and then he had to go on another 10-month deployment. After he came home from that deployment, my mom and dad were stationed at NAS Meridian. NAS means Naval Air Station. And then had me in 2005, and then my brother AC in 2007. While we lived there, my dad was in charge of the ceremonial detail drill team to handle the guns during whenever like an active duty or veteran has passed, and also participated in ceremonies. He also participated in the parading of colors during events like during football games, or just anywhere that people would ask for them to perform. His main job was directing aircraft to and from the airfield and to the transit line. During Hurricane Katrina, he was also a part of the relief efforts, and planes would land and offload supplies and deliver them to the victims of the hurricane. After that, my dad went on the USS John C. Stennis CVN-74 and was in the shipyard in Bremerton, Washington, where we lived for 13 years. Well, we didn't live in Bremerton, we lived in Port Orchard, Washington, but that was majority of where I lived for most of my life. My dad's supervisor at the time sent him to get all of his qualifications renewed on the USS Abraham Lincoln CVN-72 for steam catapults. When he returned to the Stennis, he was deployed to the Persian Gulf for support of the global terrorism for 7 months, then made another deployment in 2010 for another 7 months. Then he was assigned to the NRD Seattle to recruit people for the Navy. NRD, I think, stands for Navy Recruiting Department, if I'm right. My dad led the largest recruiting station in the district, and they got an award for the largest station of the year, and he was also rewarded Sailor of the Year. During his time, he was a part of recruiting roughly around 600 sailors, and it was pretty fun being able to go there because I got to spend more time with my dad when he was recruiting people, and I just remember when me and my brother would bring our Xbox 360 and play Minecraft up when he was recruiting people. It was great. After recruiting duty, he checked on board to the USS Nimitz for his final duty station. He trained to go back on deployment and would go on monthly exercises. And during that time, the ship was preparing to go on deployment, involving training exercises during his first year. And then shortly before deployment, the ship assembled a team of highly capable individuals that would work closely with the shipyard and contractors for its major 2-year overhaul period. He was the leader that was in charge of the crew that organized the entire overhaul to start to finish. He led the Nimitz to an early finish for its overhaul, which was a monumental task that very few ships have accomplished in years past. He paved a way and set the standard and a model for other ships to follow after the huge accomplishment. And just 3 months later, he finished his career, retiring in November of 2019. We moved to Oklahoma in July of 2019, but he had to stay back home to finish up his retirement. And then he got to come back, and then we lived in Oklahoma. And during high school, I was able to walk in the Veterans Day Parade and honor my dad, and that was very fun. And I'm just proud of my dad and all the things that he has done for me and my family, and I wouldn't be where I'm at now if it wasn't for everything he's done for me. All right. Thank you, guys.
What's our encouragement?
I'd say talk to anyone that's in your life that's a veteran, because you don't know what they've gone through, and you can learn a lot from them. And I learned a lot from my dad and everything he's gone through, and it's put a perspective that, like, he has gone through a lot, and, you know, he's still pushing through and, like, doing, like, things for us.
Okay.
Trying to think of how to explain it.
No, that's good. Very good, Haley, all the way around. You started with an interesting fact, and I like that it was just a little different way to begin. You talked about your dad and the long deployments. A good background of him, solid narrative. I like when you tell your stories and you smile and you kind of bring us into your world there with the story of them meeting, and then the story about playing the game while he was recruiting. Yeah. I thought that was good. You used good examples of his accomplishments, and I thought that was solid and good work there. I like your encouragement talking to veterans, because you can learn from them. I'm not sure if it's just the nature of the speech, but you regressed on your ums a little bit when you watch it back, and I think you were looking for your place and thing. So keep that in your subconscious. Don't do it.
Okay.
See if you can keep that out. And then that's about it. There is a little difference between the Arabian Gulf and the Persian Gulf, just so you know. A lot of people say the Persian Gulf, but if you look on the Google map, it's the same as Gulf of Mexico. We have Gulf of Arabia because that's what Arabians wanted to call it.
Okay.
Or the Persian Gulf relates to the Persians of historical time, and the Arabians don't feel they're Persian, so it gets kind of convoluted in there.
Okay.
I'm just telling you that for your information.
Thank you.
It's a minor thing.
I had a few more pictures I didn't get to show if
That's
I
all right.
to see, but there's another picture of my dad and my brother, me.
Nice.
One of the ships he was on.
Carrier.
Whenever he got an award, that's my dad. And that was the Enterprise.
One of the ships. Mm-hmm.
And then there's him on
Oh,
aircraft.
Flightline.
Yeah.
Serious business.
And then another award that he got. And then this is me in the Veterans Day Parade holding
Very
my poster
nice.
of my dad.
You like it. Good. Let's give her a hand. Way to go, Haley. Kennedy, you're up. Okay. Like I said, we'll get through as many of these as we can. If we have to roll any over, we'll roll them over to Monday. Texas, you're next.
Oh no, that zooms out fast. Okay, I'm just gonna look ghostly pale on that screen.
That's okay.
Turn down your brightness.
Oh, you did that. There you go. Okay, that's a little better.
Teamwork. I like it. Okay, take off.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Albert Einstein once said that in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. And I think that this quote resembles how I see my dad. My dad's name is Garland Brindley, and he grew up in Chelsea, Oklahoma. He did not grow up in the best conditions, and I think that is what made him the person he is today. Growing up, his mom was struggling with drugs and alcohol, which led to her passing away when he was around 20. And while she was alive, she did not have the best taste in men. So the men that my dad grew up around were very abusive to him, which led to him basically getting kicked out of her house and him moving in with my great-grandparents, which I think was a way better situation for him. But my dad also struggled with alcohol for many years of his life, and once my mom and him had my brother and I, he decided that he needed a change for himself and for our family, and he is now around 20 years sober. And this change led him to completely change his career, and he went from working at Baker Hughes as a maintenance worker to completing his master's degree and becoming a drug and alcohol counselor. This has been a big part in how he inspires me. My dad is also the person I know that I can call at any time, and he will be there for me. One time I was with two of my friends, and we wanted to go watch the new Hunger Games movie. So we stopped at Walgreens to get some snacks before the movie, and we went back out to my car. It starts. It's making this god-awful noise, though. Some belt had completely ripped apart. I don't really remember what happened, but my dad dropped everything, and he was there, and we ended up having to sit in the Walgreens parking lot for 3 hours waiting on AAA to come and tow my car. But in that time, we just sat in the car with my dad, talked about life, and it made me realize that my dad is someone that really anyone can open up to. And he treats every kid like they're his kid because he knows how difficult he grew up. But I encourage you to not let the way you grow up affect the person you become and see that as an opportunity for success. Thank you. Any questions?
Well, I'm just trying to write a couple things down here. I'm just going to put excellent encouragement at the end. That was really good, though. This whole idea, you have a challenging background, you can overcome that. Sometimes it's not easy to overcome it. Sometimes you compensate for it, as he apparently did, and then got through that. But I liked how you opened with the quote, the Einstein quote, and you got right into your dad's childhood, the adversity he faced, the alcoholism and the abusive step-parents or step-whatevers, had children, quit drinking, became drug and alcohol counselor. It's a really good story. And what I really liked is you told the story about the car breaking down and how that just gave you some moments with him to spend some time with him and talk. And so I thought your storytelling was good. You have good volume up there. You're well organized. You're making good eye contact around the room. Using your smile when you're telling your story, so that's good. And good use of hands. You're moving them around. So real solid all the way around. So let's give Kennedy a hand. Texas. Who's keeping her cool thrift shop secret from us now? That's where everybody's going to be shopping pretty soon. Okay. Let's see if we can get that last one in here. Yeah, looks good.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is kind of an unconventional way to go about this speech, but I want to talk about why my mom inspires me to not be like her. I love my mom very much. She just has made one or two bad decisions that have got her into a less fortunate place in life, but better now than it has been because she is so hardworking and coming over all of her issues. Yeah. She had a very difficult upbringing. Her mom, my grandma, very overbearing woman. I love her to death, but she not very supportive and just always, my mom was always doing something wrong because she wasn't the favorite kid. And so it did cause her to act out and start doing drugs and all kinds of things that a 14-year-old should not be doing, like giving yourself tattoos and meth and stuff. She describes herself as, growing up, she would describe herself as the weird kid of weird kids. She didn't fit in anywhere, and so she was always just by herself and getting through whatever she can, finding connection wherever she can, because my mom has awful taste in men. So, husband number one, my father, I love him, but he was a mess when they were together. He still is. But they were not a good mix. Still aren't. They divorce. My mom marries another man, and he dies because he drank himself to death. Again, not good taste in men. Husband number three, he's also dying because he is smoking himself to death. So, cool. And I do remember after my mom leaving my dad, it was constant hardship with finances and housing. Like after my first stepdad died, we got kicked out of that house and had to really try and find somewhere to live. We did. We were okay, but we were broke as a joke. hence why I'm so good at thrifting now. But she has her achievements. She did go to medical school. She didn't do anything with it, but she did go. She has acquired many, many unique skills through all of her insane experiences. Like, she's very good with cars, very good with, somehow she's very good with people. She's very awkward, but she's still very communicative. And she has the freedom to be herself now and just embrace being that weird kid that she always was. Like I said before, we are in a much better place because she works so hard. I do remember she used to work 2 jobs, 7 days a week, every day, just so that we can eat. And now she is down to just the 1 job, and she is slowly moving up in that. And it's really helping us as a family not be struggling every other week. But through everything, she's always been the funniest person I know. Always just a little ray of sunshine as much as she can be, even with the circumstances going on. She does tell me all the time to not be like her and not go down the path she did, and to follow my dreams and pursue art, because that's what she wishes she did. Because she was an amazing artist and just never got to do anything with it. So she pushes me all the time to keep drawing, keep painting, put my art out there so that I don't end up where she is. And I will say, I'm going to encourage you guys to learn from your parents' mistakes or anyone's mistakes, just to kind of go down a different path than what they did, if it was that bad. But just learn. Does anyone have any questions?
No, but let's give her a hand.
Cool.
Yay. Really good, Texas. I think you could have been a little bit louder for us,
Yeah.
but it's a tough subject. You're talking about your mom, you're trying to get through it, and there's some difficult circumstances. And so it's a good lesson in challenging material, challenging you. But I thought it was a really interesting opening. I don't want to be like every aspect of my mom. Something we don't, I've never really heard somebody open that way. So I thought that was interesting, and I wondered where you're going to go with it. And you talked about her childhood and all the adversity she faced, and then some of the poor decisions that she made. And then you got to some of the positive things. She's always been funny. She's tried to maintain a positive attitude in the midst of all this. But then encouraged you, don't be like her. And then that led you to the encouragement for us, is to learn from your parents' mistakes or anybody else's mistakes and try not to make them as you go forward. So I thought that was solid. So let's give her another hand. Cool. Yay. Matt, you're up. How are we doing? We're going to get at least 2 or 3 more in, depending how it goes. So since we moved Carolyn from Monday, we'll probably move to, or we'll probably have to go on Monday, probably, on final day. And then Aiden will may be the same for you. We'll just wait and see how we get down to the end of the list. Okay.
Good to go? Okay. Imagine moving to a brand new place with 2 young kids, your co-parent being gone often for work, and knowing virtually no one. This is my mom, Heather Wagner. My mom is inspirational to me because of her courage, consistency, and faith in God. When I was about 6 years old, my family moved to Virginia, leaving all of our relatives and friends behind. Stepping into this new environment, I remember not being super worried because my mom constantly reminded us that we were going to be okay and God was going to take care of us. As we eventually moved into our new home, there was lots of times where it would be just my mom, me, and my brother, because my dad's job required him to be on frequent trips. My mom courageously stepped into this new place, raised me and my brother, connected us into a church, and worked at the school that we went to as well. Not only did she teach at the school, but she would eventually teach me when I made it to the 5th grade. I'll never forget being so excited when I got to have her and one of her best friends as my teachers. My mom was a parent and a teacher at the same time, and she did and continues to be amazing at both jobs. Another reason my mom inspires me is because of her consistency. She literally never gives up. Recently, I've seen her consistent work shine through her horsemanship. My mom is the one that actually got me involved in riding horses and connected into our barn family. She never gives up or loses hope with her horse riding. My mom's horse Tony has been quite the project. First off, he's an off-the-track racehorse, and with the help of our trainer, she now competes on him. But through the years, my mom has had some major setbacks when riding him. She's fallen off probably more than I have and gets right back on every time. She goes to weekly lessons to improve their teamwork and pushes him to keep going. She continues to work with him even when he refuses jumps at the last second. Her consistency inspires me not to be frustrated quickly and to never give up, especially when things are hard. The final and probably most inspiring thing about my mom is her faith in God. Throughout my whole life, she has constantly encouraged me to keep my faith in God and reminds us of how good He's been to our family. When we moved to Virginia, knowing no one, my mom knew that God would provide good people for us to be around. And God showed up for us. He provided amazing friends that would eventually turn into family, and we still get together with these people. Her faith in God has inspired me to never let my situations overcome what God has planned. To sum it up, my mom has been my number one supporter. She's always there for me and someone that I can rely on for anything. I hope that one day I can be as strong of a person and a great parent like she's been to me. And I encourage you to always kind of see the goodness in whatever situation you're in and believe that God has something better planned for you. And that is it. Any questions?
No, but let's give Matt a hand. Yay. See the goodness in your situation. I was trying to get your encouragement down there. That was really solid. I like the global aspect that you brought out of that, which you told your mom's story, but then you got up to the point where you encouraged us that you might be in a negative situation, but there can be some good in there if you just look for it and work for it. What I would say, good background. I liked your opening. Imagine doing this and that. I thought that was good. Good examples. Her as a teacher. Where you really lit up was in the horse riding story. That's where you actually smiled and kind of looked at us, right? Now, I've said that before. You have a nice smile. You have a nice, friendly presentation tone. And in the future, take advantage of that. Okay. You know, that you have that nice, friendly demeanor about you. You talked about the adversity she had with the horse and that she's inspiring, good summary, good encouragement. I thought you had good volume. I will say on this one, if you watch it back, you could look up at us more, talk to us more. And in the future, when you do your speeches, try and talk more than you read. It was well organized and well written, but I want you to get to that point where you're just telling us this stuff instead of reading it right off the document. Yeah. Okay? But aside from that, I thought it was really good. So let's give Matt one more hand. Let's see who's next. Ryan, what do you have for us? Then it'll be Ryan, then Aiden, and Carolyn, but I don't think we're going to get all three y'all in by the end. But that's okay. We're doing all right. Only maybe. We'll see where it goes. You're next, so. And Ryan typically is not super loquacious, meaning he doesn't talk a lot. But that's okay.
All right. Whoa, that's upside down. All right. So for most people, many people, they have people that inspire them, like parents, grandparents, or even siblings. Now for me, is a good buddy of mine named Jeremiah Garcia. He came from Lubbock, Texas, and he moved to Hazlet when he was a junior in high school, and I would have been a freshman at the time. And we quickly became best friends, like almost brothers, like an older brother, younger brother situation. And I knew him for a little bit before I found out his background. Now, he had apparently come from a very not so great area in Lubbock. Some might call it the hood of Lubbock, but yeah. And so his friends and his family in Lubbock, they weren't really, like they were kind of in the drug, alcohol world, but he never let that slow him down. And he moved to Hazlitt when he was a junior, and he got taken into the care of Matt and Laura, who are his legal guardians. And he joined our team and quickly became the best we had. And so he was a big motivator for all of us on the team because of his background, where he came from, and how he didn't let that stop him. And so he was the best on our team, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get into college as a freshman. But he did work his butt off and train really hard because he wanted to run in college. And he was able to, the following year, he was able to go D1 at Texas A&M Commerce in wherever that is.
Commerce.
Yes, in Commerce, yes. But yeah, and so even though he had to train by himself without a team for a year, he was motivated, and he even documented some of them on YouTube. So if you look up his name, you might be able to find him. And he quickly became a good part of that team. So Jeremiah is a big motivator of mine because of his background, like where he came from, and how he was able to transcend that and encourage the team around us. Any questions?
So encourage us.
I encourage you guys, no matter what you're going through or where you came from, just to persevere through whatever it is and be a light to those around you guys.
Okay, good. All right, let's give him a hand. You can head on up there, Aiden. We'll just get ready anyway. Hold on there, Ryan. Good volume, nice demeanor, as I said. You had a good opening, good background on Jeremiah. One thing, this is when you bring any technical term in that we don't know, like you kept saying team, but we had to eventually figure out that you meant a running team.
Okay, yeah.
So whenever you do that, bring that in. I liked his background, did not stop him. He worked hard, was able to go D1, so a success story, a good summary of his impact on you. And then your encouragement was, hey, you're going to go through tough stuff. Hang in there and be a light to other people. I thought that was good. That's kind of one of our themes that's evolved today, is how people inspire others, which is the point of the speech anyway. So good job. One more time. And Aiden. Carolyn, looks like you're rolling to Monday. Because I don't want to cut you short.
What? No.
Yeah.
It's
All right. So Aiden's going to take off on us.
We good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My mom was at every home baseball game my senior year of high school, every one of my robotics competitions in 2015, my first grade arts competition, all of my soccer games, basketball games, and so many of the important events in my life that are memorable for me and important to her because they're milestones of her firstborn son. My mom is Melissa Boudier. She met my dad in 2003 and married him a couple years later. She had me in 2006 and my brother 16 months later in July of 2007. She's a first grade teacher at Robertson Elementary teaching reading. She reads a lot. She's an avid reader. My mom taught me how to read and how to run, always encouraging us to step outside of our comfort zone and to seek real-world experience and practical knowledge. My mom has guided me in life from a baby to a young adult and taught me principles of compassion and seeking out knowledge, shaping me into the person I am today. My mom has shown me how to think and act as an adult through leading by example. My mom was born in Tulsa in 1981 to an absent father and a mother working through her degree in nursing. She took my brother Alec and I to daycare every morning so she could work at the BOK Center. Later down the line in 2011, she started her own business, teaching women how to manage pregnancy and what to do before, during, and after a birth occurs. For the most part, she was able to work from home and see us in the morning and when we got back from school. I appreciate how much she made a point to be at things regularly and consistently. When I was 15, we drove to Oklahoma through Santa Fe, New Mexico, from Oklahoma through Santa Fe, New Mexico, then to the Grand Canyon in Arizona, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, the Redwood Forest, and then finished in Portland, Oregon, and then drove all the way back. And it's special for me and my mom to have those moments. It's special for my mom to have made the effort for me to have special experiences in my life. adversity she overcame is that she did not have a traditional father. He was absent most of her life and failed to support her. She had to raise my brother and I alone at times. She divorced my father when I was about 2 years old, and she was a single mom for 3 years and then for another 2 years. So it wasn't a whole lot of time, but there was points in our lives when it was just me and my brother and my mom. My mother guided me into adulthood through leading by example and parenting with compassion and intentions of helping me to achieve my goals in life. So appreciate the people that are there every day, not the ones that need things from you, but the ones that give selflessly and look out for your best interests. Love and appreciate the great figures in your life while you have the opportunity. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. You mentioned that she guided you toward real world examples. You did tell us about the trip, but what else did she encourage you to do?
Work. That's one of the big things. She
Okay.
always encouraged me to have a job and to earn money for myself.
So that's a really good lesson there. When you bring up a generality, go right to a specific after that. And everybody can remember that as an important way to make your speeches effective, is the generality is important. She taught us how to go get real world experiences, but you want to follow that up with the thing, whatever it is that you were encouraged to do.
Absolutely.
Aside from that, you're doing really well, Aiden. I would say that your volume is good up there. You're not too fast, but you're moving really quickly with your words, and I know you're reading part of it, and so I'd like for you to talk to us just a little bit more. Look up and talk to us some more. But a really good overview of your mom. I liked your opening. I thought that was powerful. My mom went to everything she could. She went to the home games, she went to my science fair, whatever, all the stuff you listed. That was really good. Good overview of her. Good details of your trip to Oregon and back. I thought that was important. You brought up her adversity and what she went through, and so I think that also is important because that ultimately leads you to your appreciation for her, all that she went through. And then at the end, your encouragement to us to appreciate the people who are there, the one who show you love and the one who help you out. Thank them. Tell them you love them. Call your mom, essentially, whenever you can, while you can.
That's my call to action, everyone. Call your mom, call your dad, call those important people.
Good. Call your mom and dad and grandma or the person that's important to you. Jeremiah, you got his number?
Yeah, we still text.
Okay, well, there you go. So you can call him, tell him you did a speech about him today, and you got some applause. So let's give Aiden a hand.
Thank you, guys.
Yay. Okay, there's just 50 seconds left. Danilo, you can just keep the wide shot on us out here. I'm not going to go back up front. But what we will do on Monday, we'll open with Carolyn's speech. That'll close out the semester of the regular speeches. Then everybody will get back up one more time and tell us what you learned this semester. And then just stand there with a look on your face. That says, I paid $1,000 for this class and I didn't learn anything. That's what you're going to say. So aside from that, are we about out of here? 15 minutes. So I encourage you all to go call your parents, your grandparents, your close friends. Tell them you appreciate them and how they've gotten you to where you are today. And I'll do the same. So with that, have a good day and we'll see you all next Monday. And I have a few sheets here for y'all. Take that one.